Welcome to the show that was not in sync at all, but that's okay, because it's Friday. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to the show. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Happy Friday! We made it to the end of the week. I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because it's more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. I learned a new Tagalog word today.
Which is?
Pakipot.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna start using it now.
Yeah, nakaka-relate ka ba? Pakipot ka ba?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. Ikaw yung pakipot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true. It's
Wow.
I don't know, I'm just not used to it, you know.
As a conservative guy.
As a conservative person. No. But then, syempre, the reason why we're talking about yung pakipot is because that's going to be one of our topics later in Love Hacks. Of course, Coach V is going to be here later. And it's pakipot versus not interested.
Actually, this is such a great topic because I feel like a lot of people right now play hard to get.
Yeah, feeling nila pakipot si ex pero not interested.
But he's not interested. So you don't know like if it's which. So I'm really excited to hear about that. What else do we have today?
Well, we're gonna talk to the NACC, who's a government agency who's going to walk us through yung legal adoption process because there are ways to go through it properly, and of course they do help combat yung human trafficking also.
Right.
So especially for your kids, so napaka-importante yun. And we're gonna find out also a bit more from the PSG, the Philippine Coast Guard, on Weather HQ, just to check out their latest relief efforts when it comes to corals and environmental work that they're doing as well.
Nice. We got lots of topics today that we can glean from.
100%. I'm excited to find out what Friday is gonna look like this time around because you mentioned a while ago, parang ang haba ng linggo.
This week has been very long. But you know, we had did we have a holiday this week?
Oh yeah, Independence Day.
No?
Independence
yeah, we did.
Day.
What day was that?
See,
parang ang haba ng week. I forgot na when was Independence Day.
That was last week.
Yun.
That was last week.
See,
oh my gosh, that's so bad.
I don't even know what day, what year, what month.
Alam mo kung bakit?
Why?
We miss Anne.
Because we miss Anne. Now she's in Texas now. I just saw her story.
She's in Texas. What's a Texas accent?
She's in, I don't know. I'm not going to do it.
No, I can't do it.
Texas, y'all.
There you go.
No, that's so embarrassing.
Let's never do that again. Pagbalik ni Anne, yan na yung accent niya.
She has a different accent na, no? Kasi voice talent, tapos southern accent
na siya. Parang siyang cowboy pag
oh my gosh, we should totally tell her to just speak in a Texan accent when she's back.
Yeah, you did Italian when you were here.
No, I didn't. My Italian's terrible.
Anyway, we gotta move on. We gotta move on and talk about the traffic situation
Something
over on Friday.
That's always happening here in the Philippines. So let's check the situation in major roads at this hour. Now here's what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side are vehicles going to Quiapo, and on the right lane are vehicles going to Quezon Memorial Circle. Traffic is building up, so if you guys are heading out, start heading out right about now. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard, and traffic is building up. And on the right side are for vehicles going to Cubao, and there is no traffic. Heads up to motorists, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's Friday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now till 10 a.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have good news for all students, including those in postgraduate studies. Starting today, you can enjoy a 50% discount on the LRT Lines 1 and 2, as well as the MRT 3. Students may avail of the discount on single journey tickets by presenting a valid school ID or a certificate of registration. The 50% discount is valid every day, even the weekends or holidays. This comes as classes officially resumed earlier this week. The move follows a directive from President Bongbong Marcos to make daily commutes easier for students. Now, what's the weather going to be like this Friday? Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Mo. Let's take a look at the two weather systems that are currently affecting the country today. First off, there's the ITCZ, or the Intertropical Convergence Zone, which is impacting Mindanao. Now, the easterlies are also here in the country that will continue to influence the rest of the Philippines. Let's go focus first on Luzon. particularly the eastern sections. The easterlies are expected to bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over Aurora and Quezon provinces. Now moving down a bit south, is the ITCZ will bring overcast skies and scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in Palawan, Caraga, the Davao region, Zamboanga Peninsula, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. Now, as for the rest of the country, as we go on and take a broader look here, including Metro Manila, generally fair weather is expected, but be prepared for isolated rain showers or thunderstorms in the afternoon or in the evening. Now, taking a look at our sea conditions, Pagasa reports no gale warnings in effect nationwide. Winds will be light to moderate, with waves up to 1.5 meters over in Luzon and 1.2 meters in Visayas and Mindanao. Now, fishing and sea travel remain generally safe, but stay alert. Waves may rise during thunderstorms, and safety at sea should always come first. Short but sweet, but that's Weather HQ at the moment. Mo, back to you.
Thank you, Pao, for that weather update. On to our top stories. Vice President Sara Duterte will not attend the fourth State of the Nation address of President Bongbong Marcos on July 28. This according to a notice sent to the House leadership. If she changes her mind, House Secretary Reginald Velasco said a seat is still reserved for her. The VP did not specify why she will skip the sauna. Institutional guests invited in the event also include former presidents, which means FPRRD will receive an invitation in The Hague. Other preparations for the sauna include online security and combating fake news.
We discussed the possible use of AI, to distort or misinform about the message of the president, maybe before, during, and after SONA, So the secretary agreed that his office will coordinate with DICT, so that if ever there are these posts in YouTube, Facebook, or wherever social media, they can immediately take it down. Because the use of the AI today, enemies of the state can distort the SONA,
The 20th Congress has yet to begin, but the race for Senate leadership is already heating up. Senate President Chis Escudero and Senator-elect Tito Soto are now courting support ahead of the new session. Senator-elect Erwin Tulfo confirms that both Escudero and Soto have approached him in hopes of securing his support for the Senate presidency. But Tulfo says he needs to consult his older brother, Senator Raffy Tulfo, before making any decisions. He adds he is using his journalism experience to this political situation by listening to both camps before taking a side. Tulfo also says he is preparing for his role as senator judge in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Si Senator Chis at saka si Senator Tito Soto, pero ngayon tumigil na eh. Baka may napili na sila.
Did you give your support to who?
Wala eh. Nagbakasyon ako eh. Hindi pa ako binabalikan. Mamaya mag-uusap kami ni Sen. Rafi. Susundan ko lang siya kung sinong gusto niya. Kung gusto niya si Tito Soto, disobey. Kung gusto niya si Senator Chis.
Davao City Congressman Paolo Duterte released a statement coinciding with his father, Rodrigo Duterte's 100th day in ICC detention. The congressman insisted that his father is no criminal and the arrest of the former president was against the law. Paolo Duterte also asked the people to remember his father and how he offered his life for the country. Currently, former President Rodrigo Duterte is set to have a confirmation of charges hearing in September, facing charges of crimes against humanity.
A showdown may be brewing between President Marcos and his sister, Senator Amy Marcos, over the proposed internet reform bill. Senator Amy is pushing for measures to break up what she calls monopolies in the telecom industry. She believes the bill will open doors to faster and more affordable and reliable internet across the country, especially in remote areas. But various groups have raised concerns. They warn of national security risks and possible foreign interference.
President Marcos admits the K-12 curriculum has failed to prepare students for employment, a view echoed by lawmakers in Congress.
Talagang palpak po talaga. And it's because masyado pong congested, hindi pinag-isipan ng mabuti yung curriculum. Kaya it's high time to reform the K-12.
House Basic Education Chair Romano Romulo says the system was poorly planned, overloaded with subjects, and left students functionally illiterate. He highlighted that a bill to reform the curriculum has already passed final reading in the House to make senior high graduates more job-ready.
1 in 3 Filipinos is at risk for chronic kidney disease, with 1 new case every hour. This according to the National Kidney and Transplant Institute. In response, President Marcos has ordered PhilHealth to expand coverage for CKD patients, including raising free dialysis sessions from 144 to 156.
Dati, meron pa rin binabayaran ng pasyente kapag nag-dialysis dahil may kulang pa, kailangan pa mag-payout ang pasyente. Ngayon, hindi na. Tinaasan natin ang halaga ng coverage mula dati sa 4,000 piso. Ngayon ay ginawa natin 6,350 para sa kabuong benepisyo halos 1 milyon or 990,000 pesos lahat-lahat.
PhilHealth will now also cover up to 2.1 million pesos for kidney transplants and pay for monthly immunosuppressive drugs for both pediatric and adult patients. Kidney donors will also receive support as part of the enhanced benefit package.
The Transportation Department has ordered the suspension of toll collection at the NLEX Marilao northbound segment. This comes after another truck accident at the Marilao Interchange Bridge, which left 1 person dead. The toll suspension will remain until all lanes are fully passable. Meanwhile, NLEX Corporation says it is fully cooperating with authorities and vows to assist affected families. Pointing to non-compliance with height restrictions as a factor in the incident, the company stresses that safety is a shared responsibility and calls for strict adherence to traffic rules.
The Philippines has reported a robust but decelerating growth, this from senior officials of the World Bank.
We have potentially higher or more persistent policy uncertainty, particularly around trade, that could result in even greater global growth deceleration than expected.
Aside from the worsening trade crises and rising global tension, this can also be attributed to lower exports and weakening industries in the country. With a 90-day pause on Trump's tariff hike, the World Bank has a recommendation.
The optimal response for the Philippines and for other countries is actually to double down on domestic reforms, reducing investment costs at home. So this is an opportunity for the Philippines to focus on doubling down on domestic reforms.
The Tourism Department is pushing back against a report by online platform HelloSafe, which labeled the Philippines as the least safe country. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco called the ranking false, saying HelloSafe is more focused on selling travel insurance than providing accurate safety assessments. Frasco urged the company to correct its misleading data on the Philippines, saying it has damaged the country's reputation and that of the Filipino people.
Touchdown Japan for President Marcos as he attends the 2025 World Expo in Osaka. The president landed in Japan aboard a private plane early Thursday night. Malacanang has yet to disclose the officials who joined him on this trip. The president is expected to hold business meetings and meet with members of the Filipino community. He is scheduled to return to the country this weekend. While he is away, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Agrarian Reform Secretary Conrado Estrella III, and Education Secretary Sunny Angara have been designated as caretakers of the executive branch. The visit comes less than a month after PBBM traveled to Malaysia for the ASEAN Summit. His last official visit to Japan was back in 2023.
In world news, the week-old air war in the Middle East shows no sign of stopping. Israel said it bombed Iran's nuclear targets on Thursday, while Iran fired missiles and drones at Israel after hitting an Israeli hospital overnight. The White House said U.S. President Donald Trump will make a decision in the next 2 weeks on whether the U.S. will get involved in the conflict. Trump earlier said he's interested in pursuing a diplomatic solution with Iran, but his top priority is ensuring it does not develop nuclear weapon. After threatening to kill the Iranian supreme leader, Trump has kept the world guessing on possible U.S. involvement in the war. 3 diplomats told Reuters that Trump's special envoy has spoken with Iranian foreign ministers several times since the strikes began last week. Russia, the country that saw history's worst nuclear disaster in Chernobyl in 1986, issues a warning to Israel. The head of Russia's Nuclear Energy Corporation said an Israeli attack on Iran's nuclear power plants could exceed all known nuclear accidents in the history of mankind. Iran's only operating nuclear power plant was built by Russia. On Thursday, Israel said it had struck the site, but later called it a mistake and said they could neither confirm nor deny the power plant had been hit.
Now moving on to sports. Here we go. It's win or go home for the Indiana Pacers. Game 6 of the NBA Finals happens today against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off is later on at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, right in Indiana's home court. Tyrese Halliburton is in attendance at the very least and was in warm-up gear ahead of today's game. Halliburton made headlines after he suffered a calf strain in Game 5. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle earlier said a final decision will be made just hours before the game. And as for OKC, they are just 1 game away from capturing the title. The Thunder are eyeing their first championship since 1979, when the franchise was still known as the Seattle Supersonics. Now from the hard court, let's go to the tennis court. A stunner in Germany as French Open champ Coco Gauff suffers an early exit at the Berlin Open. Gauff was eliminated by Chinese qualifier Wang Xinyu. The American struggled to adapt to the slick grass court surface just weeks after her triumph on clay in Paris. Wimbledon, the next Grand Slam stop, begins on June 30.
Now in entertainment, Superman was in Manila yesterday to kick off their world tour in the SM Mall of Asia. But ahead of the official meet and greet, the cast and crew of the new film were warmly welcomed by fans at a fan event in Bridgetown, Pasig. Called Look Up Manila, the event had numerous fans dressed in their best super costume, and if you look closely enough, you can see the lovely Gerard Cison in the crowd. Filipino pride shines bright once again on the international stage. Comedy film Flower Girl has been selected as the closing film of the 24th New York Asian Film Festival this July. The film will have its international premiere on July 27th at the SVA Theater with director Patrick Tabada and lead actress Sue Ramirez joining a live question and answer session. Flower Girl tells the quirky story of Enna, a woman who loses her private part after insulting a trans woman and must find true love before a magical flower loses its petals. The film features Khaled Karen, Jameson Blake, and Martin Del Rosario and is written and directed by Patay na si Jesus filmmaker Patrick Tabada.
Yeah, you know what? It just reading the premise, it's like a fairy tale gone wrong.
It reminds me of Beauty and the Beast.
There, exactly.
I was like, oh, this is a nice twist. Yeah, it's interesting actually. Whoever came up with this story, now I'm interested in watching it.
Yeah,
have you seen it?
No, I haven't yet. But then 100%. First of all, it's Khaled Karen also. A friend of mine, a friend from TV5, and of course, congratulations to her, and of course, the rest of the cast and crew. Big deal in New York for sure, and good luck with that. And also, shout out to Gerard Cison. We saw the photos a while ago
I'm
of
so
Superman.
Glad. Yeah, I'm sure he was like in all the events all day yesterday, so it was a full day for him.
Yeah, I mean, like if we could bring that up again, there it is. So
do we see Gerard?
You cannot not see him. Okay, we're gonna.
He's there. You can literally tell him apart from the crowd with all the Supermans. He's the best dressed one.
It's amazing. So the nice thing also is that
There,
there are people. Yeah, there he is. Like you can't hide
You
him.
literally can't miss him.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, it's nice also because I have friends from overseas who have come here for this event because they did the international junkets here for ASEAN countries also. So you have influence from Malaysia and other countries here in the Philippines. I might see a few of them later. But then, yeah, I mean, like, it's an international event.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Not just for the locals. So, yeah, it's amazing. And congratulations to everyone involved in
and like we
organizing
talked about, I think the turnout was great because yesterday we told y'all better come out and support Superman because we want all the new movies coming here for their first stop. So I think it was a great turnout.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that it did rain in Bridgetown.
Yeah, actually, no.
Because, yeah, I mean, like you saw it a while ago, it looked like an overcast day, but then it looked great. So congratulations to everyone, and I think the movie junket is later for those influencers and those interviewing. So we'll get to see more content online when it comes to that soon. But anyway, we're gonna move on because up ahead we got some serious news or serious business because adopting children is often seen as a lengthy legal process that daunts parents' wannabes. But that is no longer the case for legal adoption here in the Philippines today. More on that story after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The National Authority for Child Care is trying to change the narrative about adoption. This Adoption and Alternative Child Care Week celebration, the NACC centers the conversation on legal adoption and its now streamlined and less costly process. NACC Director for Operations Imelda Ronda joins us this morning to talk more about it. It's a beautiful day. Miss Imelda, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, good morning, Paul and Monique, and thank you for inviting me here, the NACC, in your beautiful day program.
Ms. Imelda, let's start off first with yung trabaho po ng NACC and of course championing for legal adoption and of course basically the welfare for children all over the Philippines po. What is the role of the NACC muna?
Okay, so the NACC, or the National Authority for Child Care, is a newly established quasi-judicial agency attached to the Department of Social Welfare and Development. So as a government agency, we are tasked to do all matters relating to domestic administrative adoption and alternative child care, which the new law, Republic Act number 11642, is streamlined the process already. So it's already a simpler and expeditious legal adoption process. So in parallel with our mandate, the NACC is duty-bound to promote legal adoption and alternative child care to prospective adoptive parents or families who wants to adopt or foster a child, as well as with all our stakeholders and child welfare practitioners, especially the mass media. So we have been building linkages and partners, especially with the local social welfare and development offices and the local government units. For the NGOs, LGUs rather, the NACC have formed a League of Heroes campaign. So we have successfully sealed partnership agreements with 89 local government units nationwide to help the NACC develop prospective adoptive parents and licensed foster parents to promote legal adoption and foster care. So because we believe, the NACC believes that the local government units are the best position to respond to the need for legal adoption and foster care of children.
Miss Imelda, sorry, we just want to
Yes.
jump in here because
Yes.
syempre yung pinupush natin yung legal adoption. Pero kanina, Monique, we were
Yes.
talking about it na there are incidents of illegal adoption as well.
There are incidents, and I'm so curious because this was recent that the law, what is it?
RA 11642.
RA 1162 was just passed actually back in 2022, so that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious, what is the current state of legal adoption here in the Philippines?
Yes, because of the new law, Republic Act 11642, the process is no longer, the adoption process is no longer handled by the court. It is now being done administratively through the NACC and through our regional alternative child care offices. So it became more simpler, expeditious, and streamlined process. So before it would take like 5 years to 10 years to just get a court order for the child's legal adoption, but with the administrative process of domestic adoption, it would only now take 6 to 9 months to have the child legally adopted by the parents.
Miss Imelda, can correct us if we're wrong, pero back in 2022 po, 1.8 million orphan and abandoned children po were listed in government data po. When we talk about the ratio between the number of children in need of care and adopted and need of adoption as well, can you tell us a bit more about the children right now in terms of numbers po nila?
Okay. So actually, the NACC would only process those children who are legally available for adoption. So officially po, there are around 7,000 children who have been admitted to our accredited facilities participating in the government adoption and alternative child care. And as of last week, June 6, only 1,197 of the 7,000 children admitted in these residential care facilities and child care agencies were assessed and determined to need adoption and alternative child care, hence their declaration to be legally available for adoption. Since the establishment of NACC in 2022, we have actually already issued 1,063 orders of adoption for domestic adoption, and we have entrusted 418 children for intercountry adoption. And right now, we have 1,075 children who are being cared under our Philippine foster care program.
Ms. Imelda, we have so many questions when it comes to this kasi syempre we're talking about children and there is a big sympathy for what they go through. Just out of curiosity po, how do you find these children? How do they come under the care of NACC? And of course, what allows them to be legally adoptable?
As I mentioned before, the children has to go through the process of a certification declaring them as legally available for adoption. These children came to the system of adoption and alternative child care. It's either the birth parents would surrender these children to the licensed child care agencies or residential care facilities or to the DSWD or to the local government units through the local social welfare and development offices. Some of these children would be found abandoned. Some are foundlings that were referred to the care of these licensed child care agencies. So for the children to become available for adoption, they have to go through the process of the declaration issuing a certificate that they are legally available for adoption, whether for domestic or intercountry adoption.
Yeah, and it's not just kids, Miss Imelda, because we're, like I said, we're talking about kids' lives here. And for sure, vetting is such a big part of the process. So how do you guys ensure that it is not too difficult, that is discouraging, but not too loose, that you endanger the kids being adopted?
Yes, we have actually, the vetting that you refer to is what we call the judicious matching process. So the children, as I said before, have to go through the process of the declarations for them to become available for adoption. for the prospective adoptive parents, they have to be also assessed by the social worker to determine that they are also eligible and suitable to become prospective adoptive parents. And the prospective adoptive parents and the child would meet through the judicious matching process. And we have a team of experts composed of psychologists, medical doctors, social worker, lawyers, and NGO representatives that do the what we call the matching conference. So we match the child's needs based on the assessment of the social workers and the capacity of the prospective adoptive parents to meet this particular child, particular needs of the child.
Ms.
So
Imelda,
that's what we call the matching process.
Ms. Imelda, I want to talk about the fact that this actually is one way to help combat yung human trafficking and illegal baby selling. Just to be completely frank about that issue, can we talk about yung mga efforts niyo po against that? Because from my understanding, there is a concerted effort from the NACC to fight and to really combat yung human trafficking, especially those that happen online.
Yes, actually, our executive director, Yusef Janela Ejercito Estrada, was the one who actually saw the Facebook accounts of these individuals who have created an account on Facebook in the guise of legal adoption, but it's actually selling babies online. That we reported this incident to the PNP in February 2024, and actually from the 23 that we have monitored, some of them were already took down by the DICT Crime Investigation Committee, and from the 23 accounts, as of June 6, meron na lang pong 12 Facebook group, but this group has at least 20 to 200,000 followers, so it's still a big problem for us because it's demonize the process of adoption. It does not protect the rights of the child to be become a legitimate member of the family because they don't have the protection of the law.
Do you guys have any public programs or campaigns encouraging people to adopt legally?
Yes, through our activities, we have several activities this June that we have launched our, not really launched, we celebrated our adoption and alternative child care week. And we have several activities. We actually have the bicicleta and fun run all over the country. It was, we have 16 regional offices. So, ang dami po naming activities na naka-line up. We also have mall forums sa mga major malls po natin that our, yung ating po mga nakikinig ngayon, kung if they have the time, they can also visit yung aming po mga help desk sa mga malls. And like this po, yung aming pong advokasya ay naipapamahagi din po natin through the media.
Mm-hmm. Ma'am, when we take a look at the amount of children that you do take care of, especially putting up for legal adoption po, could you give us an idea of yung age range po nila? Because if I'm not mistaken, may preference po of adopting younger children in particular. And of course, how do we address yung mga problema na ganun, that the younger, I think yung preference, the better. And how do we get some of the older children adopted as well?
Yes, actually for before most of the preference of our prospective adoptive parents in the Philippines through the domestic adoption, they would rather adopt a child below 2 years old. But with our advocacy that there are a lot of children, older children who are awaiting for their permanent forever families, we encourage actually our adoptive parents to adopt older children. We show them a video about the benefits or what is good about adopting older children. And now actually the profile of adoptive parents in the Philippines, they are now more open to adopting older children, like 5 years old, 6 years old. So there are a lot of opportunities for these children to be adopted as well. But for those children who were not adopted locally, we still have the inter-country adoption program. We try to get families from our accredited partners abroad. So these children will now go through the inter-country adoption process.
Yeah, Ms. Imelda, real quick, what is the legal adoption process like? You mentioned earlier the process now is cut, right, from before it was years to have a child adopted, but now it takes 6 to 9 months. So can you walk us through the adoption process for those who are interested?
Yes, those who are interested to adopt or at least foster a child temporarily while we're doing the legal adoption, they can also apply as foster parent. The first thing that they need to do is to attend our pre-adoption and foster care forum. So our regional alternative child care offices, they have a regular forum online or face-to-face. You just need to contact the regional alternative child care office, because in that forum, the social worker will discuss the process, the requirements, the important things that the prospective adoptive parents need to know for them to be able to file an application as prospective adoptive parents or foster parents. So, meron po tayong iba't ibang klase ng adoption. We have the regular adoption. Yun po yung mga bata na nanggagaling po sa ating mga orphanages or child care agencies. We also process relative adoption. Yung mga pong pamangkin, pinsan, apo, pwede pong i-file po yung petition for adoption nila. We also have step-parent adoption and adult adoption. So, hindi lang po bata. Kahit po adult, po pwede po natin i-process yung kanilang adoption as long as ma-qualify po sila sa mga requirements.
Ms. Imelda, one of the things mentioned also is that it also cuts the cost of legal adoption po. When we talk about yung figures po of what this law has changed in terms of yung costs and yung proseso po, just how much cheaper is it to actually go through yung entire process?
Okay, actually wala pong bayad. Wala po tayong sinisingil kasi naniniwala po tayo sa sinasabi nila na hindi po dapat maging mahal ang magmahal. So, when they apply for adoption or foster care, wala po silang babayaran sa NACC o sa amin po mga regional alternative child care offices. Usually po, ang kailangan lang po nilang bayaran ay yung mga supporting documents na kailangan po nilang i-submit, kagaya po ng birth certificate. Siyempre po, kukuha po sila sa PSA, may bayad po yung pagkuha ng birth certificate sa PSA. Kukuha po sila ng NBI, o magpapamedical po sila for the medical evaluation, psychological evaluations. So yun lang po usually po yung mga babayaran po nilang dokumento. Pero hindi po yan sa NACC binabayaran. Once na nag-apply po sila, wala po silang babayaran. Kahit po pag-attend ng aming mga pre-adoption forum sa aming mga raport, wala pong bayad yun. Libre po.
Ms. Imelda, how can we ensure the safety of the children post-adoption po? Obviously, there is going to be a bit of concern of how the life is after. Ano po yung proseso ninyo of monitoring the welfare of the children post the adoption process?
Yes po. So, nakalagay po sa batas na meron po tayong ipoprovide na post-legal adoption services. So, hindi po natatapos ang trabaho natin na atin pong pa-adapt po yung bata. Sinusubaybayan po yan ng social worker. Meron po yung sinasubmit ng mga post-placement report hanggang sa ma-determine po na okay na po yung kalagayan ng bata. Pero hindi pa rin po natatapos doon ang suporta po ng NACC. Kahit po tapos na yung adoption, maaari pa rin po silang ma-provide ng NACC ng mga psychological counseling kung nangangailangan po. Maaari po nilang kausapin yung mga social worker. At ito po ating mga domestic adoption families po, Actually, meron din po kaming ginagawa ng mga support group para po sa kanila. So meron po silang para mga association din po nila na sila pong mga adoptive families, yung mga bata po na adopted, sila rin po ay nagtitipon-tipon para po kumbaga isa rin po yun na way na hindi naman sila ma-isolate, hindi nila ma-feel na iba kami dahil adopted kami. Dahil marami na po tayong ampon. Kumbaga, marami silang ampon. Tayo po, kahit po tayo ay ma-consider po tayong ampon. Kasi po sa amin pong advocacy, gusto po namin maipaliganap ang positive na connotation po ng ampon. Hindi siya negative na maging ampon. Dahil sa amin po, ang ampon, ang gustong sabihin ay anak, magulang, pamilya, ordinaryo, pero natatangi. So lahat po tayo ay ampon. Kasi lahat tayo ay anak, lahat tayo ay magulang, tayo ay nabibilang sa pamilya, ordinaryo man po tayo, pero pag ginawa po natin maging legal ang adoption ng bata, tayo ay natatanging mga nilalang.
Miss Imelda, real quick, before we let you go, what is your message to try to convince those who are still not really convinced to adopt the legal way?
Opo. Sana po wag po nating tangkilikin ang mga illegal na gawain na through sinasabi na legal adoption, pero hindi po dahil hindi siya naisagawa sa tamang proseso. Marami pong benefits sa mga bata. Mas lalo na po sa bata, unang-una po nabibigyan natin sila ng tamang pangalan, legitimate na pangalan. Sila po ay nagiging lehitimong membro ng pamilya at lahat ng benepisyo ng isang anak sa isang pamilya ay makukuha po ng bata, especially po yung name, yung kanyang legitimacy, yung kanyang succession rights. So magiging tagapagmana rin po siya, hindi po siya mapapabayaan kapag namatay man po kung sakali yung adopted parents ay wala siyang mamanahin kasi hindi legal yung kanyang adoption. Siya po, kung legally adopted po siya, lahat po ng benepisyo ng isang legitimate na anak ay makukuha rin po ng adopted child.
Thank you so much, NACC Director for Operations, Imelda Ronda. Maraming salamat po. Thank you for sharing your insights and of course, yung advocacy po ninyo. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din po. And it is indeed a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We've got more stories for you after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. You're still watching. It's a beautiful day. Britain's Prince William meets Hollywood royalty as he's joined by Kate Blanchett for a tour of an Earthshot Prize finalist. The pair put on lab coats and goggles as they toured Colorfix, a Norfolk company that creates natural dyes meant to replace the use of harmful chemicals. The company was an Earthshot finalist in 2023, an award body established by Prince William and David Attenborough to support innovative solutions to environmental challenges.
Now, have you been seeing large black moths in your neighborhood lately? Well, you know what? You're not the only one. On X, Filipino users shared sightings of black and brown moths that have a white stripe on their wings. A curious X user, Edriel, did some digging and found that these tropical swallowtail moths have spread their wingspan in the urban jungle for a reason. Now, one of the reasons could be the lack of available plant hosts. Edriel wrote as, quote, as food becomes scarce in the forest, the moths may be forced to look elsewhere for a place where their larvae can feed. He added, this is just one part of the bigger picture. So next time we see a tropical swallowtail moth, I hope it prompts us to reflect on what we can do to help protect Mother Earth.
This actually happened at my house, and like there's a Filipino saying, if you see like a moth or a butterfly, that's your deceased loved ones.
Yeah.
So we saw a moth, and I live with my Lola, and my Lola already passed away, but my Lola's like, oh, that's your Lolo visiting you because you barely visit him now. So he's making sure he knows you're still there and to come visit.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite things is that when kapag may dumadaan na moth or butterfly, whichever, and then I remember, I think it was my one of my grandparents who said this. When they saw a moth, looked up to the moth and said, "Sino ka?" Like, who are you? Which one are you?
Which one are you? That's so funny.
I know. So I mean, like that's always it's one of those really
But that's
nice,
a Filipino
funny.
superstition.
Yeah, it's a really
right?
nice Filipino
Is
superstition.
it a moth or is it just butterflies?
I think it's also a moth. It depends.
then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really fun. I mean, it's a nice reminder then of those who passed for us. But of course, on to the message of Edriel, sabi nga niya that it makes us appreciate the Mother Nature a bit more.
Yeah, and hopefully people don't kill them because they're so kawawa. Like you mentioned in your story, they don't have anywhere to call their home now.
Yeah,
so kawawa
they're
sila.
just looking for a spot to put their larvae. So yeah, hopefully it we protect the biodiversity in and around the urban areas. I know there's not a lot,
right?
But then hopefully we can try and make things a bit greener in general.
Right. But you know what topic we're talking about? Sayang, wala si Anne. Her favorite. We're talking about AI.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Ready?
What's going?
Let's
go.
see what's going on in the AI world. It turns out that ChatGPT could be eroding your critical thinking skills. A new study from researchers at MIT's Media Lab suggests that the usage of AI could harm learning, especially for younger users. The study divided subjects into 3 groups tasked to write SAT essays. One group was assigned to write with ChatGPT, the other one with Google, and the last one with nothing at all. Researchers found that the group using AI had the least neural, linguistic, and behavioral performance among the group. The researchers clarify that the sample size of the study is a small scale, but they feel compelled to publish to open conversations on the impact of AI to human learning.
You know what's funny? See, Anne doesn't use Google anymore. She uses ChatGPT.
I know. Every time she's here, I'm like, oh, she's on ChatGPT. I thought you didn't like ChatGPT.
I know. But then I think I understand. I don't understand, obviously, I haven't seen the study. But if I were to venture a bit of a guess on why it's less brain work if you use AI, it's because you're actually allocating that duty to AI.
To AI, yeah. You're not using your critical thinking skills like mentioned. Because before, when we had to write essays...
When we had to do it...
We are so old. Do you remember when we had to go to the library and look through the encyclopedia? Do y'all know what an encyclopedia is? The younger generations? We gotta ask the interns later if they know what that is.
Naalala ko dati, Dewey Decimal System, right? The Dewey Decimal... You have to go through like this little cabinet of cards. Then you're going through it and then you get the number of the book you need.
And then the way we had to cite everything, every book.
No, the citation.
It's crazy.
The citation, to be fair, was already automated when I was in college. Like
in
the citation
college, but
machine.
in high school, we still had to manually do it.
Oh my gosh, we have 2 interns here who don't know what the Dewey
They don't know
Decimal...
what an encyclopedia is, a Dewey Decimal System. We gotta teach all that later.
Encyclopedia, di ba Wikipedia lang yun? Hindi! Hindi! It's a book!
No, so honestly, I feel like if we had ChatGPT before, our life would be easier, but we would be lazier. I feel like, because we rely on it, right?
Yeah, I think if things become more convenient, you put in less work. But then for some things, that could be a great thing. You're absolutely right, though. I wish the study could be more expanded so we can have better thoughts.
I'm sure there are studies that they're conducting now.
Yeah, because it is growing, and I don't think it's going to change. And I think we're heading in that direction anyway. So how can we use AI without necessarily losing some of our own neural functions when we start making decisions and start using critical thinking?
And that's a great question. We will never know until more studies come out.
Well, anyway, we're going to move on now. A while ago, we were talking about the Earth, and we're going to talk about the sea next time, because when we return, we'll hear from the team behind another successful coral reef rehabilitation mission at Pag-asa Island in Palawan. Stay with us. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. I'm Paolo del Rosario. The Philippine Coast Guard continues to strengthen its efforts in marine environmental protection. Recently, they have led a successful coral reef rehabilitation mission at Pag-asa Island, part of the Kalayaan Group of Islands in Palawan. To tell us more about this important initiative, we are joined via Zoom by PCG Deputy Chief of Coast Guard Staff for Marine Environmental Protection, Commodore May Marfil. Magandang umaga, Commodore Marfil. Welcome to It's a Beautiful Day.
Sir, magandang umaga po sa inyo at sa lahat po ng viewers ng It's a Beautiful Day.
Commodore, pag-usapan muna natin yung mga resulta in terms of yung rehabilitation efforts po ninyo in the Kalayaan Island Group. The coral rehabilitation effort, just how big was the problem po at anong kailangan yung gawin in that area in particular?
Malaki po ang yung epekto ng coral degradation sa KIG. So, kailangan po gumawa ng mga kailangan gawin, may restore ng gobyerno natin yung ating nasisirang corales sa KIG po.
Ano yung mga restoration methods po ninyo in terms of the coral rehabilitation project po?
One of the key restoration method that we use, yung coral frame po that we carried is yung we use the coral frame and then we may designated area po kami, tapos kumuha po kami ng mga buhay na corals na transplant po. Parang nilipat mo siya sa isang lugar na pag i-restore nyo po. Yun what we call the coral plant transplantation po ang ginamit namin ng Philippine Coast Guard.
If I'm not mistaken po, this has been a longer project po. Can you tell us a bit more of yung history po ng rehabilitation efforts po ninyo? If I'm not mistaken, there was another effort made in January po, if I get that correctly.
Yes, sir. Ito po yung ang unang ginawa po, sir, yung tinatawag na assessment. Ito po yung kailangan mong as part of the important initiative na dapat kailangan ng paggawa ng restoration is to assess the area. So, once na ma-assess po, yun na, next na po yung tinatawag na coral transplantation. So, it was just, since the Philippine Coast Guard is guided by, dapat daw, ang trabaho namin ng coral reef transplantation is, science-based. So, we need scientists, kasi hindi naman po lahat ng mga coast guard. Do we have marine biologists? But we should be guided by a scientist. So, yun unang sinabi nila sa amin na guidance na kailangan may assessment muna bago makapaggawa ng coral transplantation.
Sino po mga private partners po ninyo when it comes to this project?
As of the moment, sir, yung una naming kasama is ang mga kasama namin ito is UPMSI during the assessment. And then ngayon, sir, yung only the Palawan PCSD and then yung Western Philippine University po. Sir, as of the moment, sir, it's the initiative po talaga ng Coast Guard lang po.
Are there challenges po when it comes to yung process po ninyo in terms of the recovery process, especially considering, well, it cannot be avoided po, but then have there been any challenges by the Chinese Coast Guard, especially when it comes to the areas in and around the KIG?
So far, sir, ang challenge lang talaga na encounter namin is yung malalakas na alon, yung pagdadive, sir. And then yung pag-transfer ng mga coral frames na tinatawag namin kasi may minsan na tumaob yung mga rubber boats kasi sobrang lakas. So we're ready on that challenge, sir. Yung sa Chinese naman vessel, sir, pag ng mga vessel namin, andyan na sila agad naka-escort. But tuloy lang po ang trabaho ng Philippine Coast Guard.
So hindi po naging issue yung presence po nila?
Ay, hindi po, sir.
When we talk about the ways that, kasi this has been a directive from the President din po in terms of trying to make make sure na nasa-safeguard po yung biodiversity ng KIG. In what ways has the President's Directive po strengthened yung support for yung conservation initiatives sa area po na yun?
Napakalaki pong bagay yung directive ng President po because it accelerated our marine conservation initiatives by providing clear policy, direction, and high-level support. So, and in response to that directive, the ambuting commandant po ng Philippine Coast Guard is dinirect po agad ako na gumawa ng initiative at magbuo ng team which is still our Philippine Coast Guard Marine Science Group na kailangan gawin na pag-restore, simulan na ang pag-restore ng coral reefs sa KIG po.
Ma'am, ano yung magiging measures ng success po ninyo when it comes to the assessment on whether or not successful po yung coral rehabilitation project po ninyo?
Yes, sir. Sa ngayon po kasi this is the initial start as initial lang po ang initial pa lang po to at first, so it's still early, it's too early to observe visible signs of coral recovery po, sir, kasi it will take time, mga months, years pa nga sa observation of the growth of the corals, but we will be there. We'll be conducting monitoring quarterly to monitor the fragments through documentation, underwater videos, sir. So ano lang, sir, kailangan na lang bisitahin every quarter, sir, kahit medyo mahirap yung maalon, but we need to be consistent with our objective na atin namin objective namin na ma-rehab po ang coral reef sa KIG.
Ma'am, you mentioned it po, medyo maalon, habagat season po ngayon. Just how big is the challenge po of the weather-related issues when it comes to sustaining yung monitoring po ninyo sa KIG?
Kahit medyo maalon, sir, pero syempre kailangan, it is our commitment and our goal to the President na kailangan. So abang nag-aantay kami, we will be developing our capability, so training, so we need more trainings para dito sa aming coral reef restoration kasi and then we'll constantly build up our capability habang kami nag-aantay ng pag-conduct ng monitoring, but definitely quarterly monitoring po ang magiging sagot dito sa para ma-monitor talaga namin yung coral reefs sa yung development and growth ng mga coral reefs na inilagay namin.
Na-engage po ba yung local community, especially in and around the Palawan area, when it comes to the monitoring and of course safeguarding ng mga coral reefs sa KIG?
Yes, sir. Bago po pagkatapos po ng coral reef transplantation ay gumawa agad ang Philippine PCG Marine Science Group namin ng IEC Information Education Campaign around the area, sir, sa KIG para ma-inform sila na ito mayroong ginagawang initiative ang Coast Guard para at kanila din pangalagaan yung bantayan at pangalagaan yung mga coral reef na nilagay namin, sir.
She is the PCG Deputy Chief of Coast Guard Staff for Marine Environmental Protection, Commodore May Marafil. Maraming salamat po. Thank you for joining us this morning. Napakaaga po, but then we really enjoyed talking to you. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Salamat po sa lahat.
All right, so that is it for Weather HQ at the moment. Mo, back to you.
Thank you, Pao Pao. Now, let's find out if today's going to be your lucky day. Let's find out from our resident morning hype man and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Friday, June 20. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, mag-relax at iwasan ang stress upang hindi bumaba ang immune system. Purple at 6. Para naman sa Year of the Ox, mas magiging matibay ang inyong relasyon kung magiging open sa isa't isa. Orange at 1. Kay Year of Tiger naman, huwag ipagpaliban ang iyong health, lalo na kung may nararamdamang kakaiba. Red at 5. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman, maging handa sa isang biglaang pagbabago sa trabaho. Gray at 3. Kay Dragon, ang pagiging matyaga ay equals to success. Bronze at 7. Kay Year of the Snake naman, huwag magmadali sa financial decisions. Pag-isipan ito maigi. White at 9. Ito naman, Kay of the Horsey, mag-exercise para mapanatili ang sigla. Brown at 6. Kay Year of the Sheep naman, stay hydrated at iwasan ang sobrang matatamis at caffeine. Pink at 6. Sa mga Year of the Monkey, be ready at mag-ingat sa biglaang gastusin. Yellow at 4. Kay Year of the Rooster naman, may darating na good news sa trabaho. Jade at 8. Kay Year of the Dog, maglaan ng oras para sa meditation para kalmado ang isip. Russet at 2. At kay Year of the Pig naman, mag-ingat sa kinakain. Eat clean at healthy. Coral at 1. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you so much, Master Hans! We love his energy. You have to work out though.
Oo nga eh. Sabi ni Master, sabi ko, what are you saying, Master Hans, ha? I mean, like...
Yours all
I
week
get
has
it.
been about your health.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
yours had a theme.
Sleep, sleep early.
Yeah.
Watch out for, don't stress out too much. What's yours?
Mine today. I don't have a theme actually this week, but today was some good news happening.
Some good news happening
I don't know
sa
what-
trabaho.
For work. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, kasi ang dami mong trabaho eh.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah, there you
So,
go. So
baka may good
hopefully
news
here.
ako dito. Hi,
Right?
bosses.
Yeah.
Anong good news ko?
Yeah.
I wanna know.
Bonus.
Yeah, dapat lang.
May bonus kasi sabi ni Master Hans, diba?
Yeah, Master Hans said so but I got the bonus. But now it's my favorite segment because remember earlier I said I learned a new word, pakipot. So we'll talk about that with Coach V. Because a 2009 rom-com starring Jennifer Aniston is the girl's ultimate Bible for knowing whether he's just not into you. But how about for boys?
Ooh.
Our very own dating Coach V comes to the rescue on Love Hacks after the break.
Save me.
For the boys. Welcome back. You're so watching. It's a beautiful day. Girls can be complicated. Their no means no, but their yes could also mean no, and their no could mean yes. Oh, I'm confused. These poor boys are left to guess, is she even interested in me? But don't worry, boys. Coach V got you in today's Love Hacks. Take it away, Coach V.
Love hacks, we got you. No need to be sad.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your love life strategist, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. A dating dilemma I'm sure many of us have faced. If someone replies late, does that automatically mean that they're not interested? What if they never reply? Can you still say that they're just being pakipot? And how long should you keep trying before you admit that they're not hard to get, they're just not into you? Welcome to the Philippines, my love, where pakipot is either the courtship culture or an emotional CPR for the connection that's flatlining. Let's decode this Filipino classic. Pakipot ba or passive rejection? Ready, loves? Pao?
Pakipot versus not interested. I don't know saan ako magtatanong, kaya dito na lang. Hehe. Nalilito kasi ako. Nagsabi ako sa girl na I like her and I wanna pursue or court her. Sabi niya lang na kinilig siya, natuwa, ang cute ko daw. Pero every time na tinatanong ko siya if payag ba siya, lagi niyang answer is, hindi niya alam. Kasi first time daw niya ma-experience na may magtanong na formal sa kanya. Though she had an ex na siguro ginajowa niya agad, Ganon, I don't know. Kaya hindi ko alam if pakipot lang ba siya or ayaw niya ba, pero ayaw niya lang mag-no. Kasi ang tagal din niya na mag-reply, ilang beses niya ako maraming beses ko nang ninayaya na lumabas or mag-date, but she had excuses or I don't know, baka di lang talaga siya pwede. Also, ako lang lagi yung bumubuhay sa condo namin. Ayaw niya ako sagutin directly if I have a chance ba or wala. Bakit ganyan kayo mga babae? Sabi ng friend ko, mararamdaman ko naman daw if interested yung girl. Pero ngayon lang ako nagka-encounter na ganito. Kaya I want to know if pakipot lang ba or if it's a no talaga kasi ayoko na maghabol ulit. Ewan siguro, traumatized and natuto lang ako sa past ko. Hope y'all help me.
Let's define this for our foreigner friends. Ano nga ba ang pakipot? What is pakipot? Pakipot is a Filipino dating behavior where a woman might act reserved or hard to get, not to reject, but to test your sincerity. It's cultural, it's nuanced, and yes, sometimes it's a soft no disguised as sweetness. Filipinos can smile at you, compliment you, and still not want to go on a second date with you. So, to the one asking, is she really pakipot or not interested? Here's what's really happening. You're stuck in an emotional limbo wrapped in polite language. She's not saying no because confrontation is hard. And you're mistaking her politeness for possibility. But let's call it out. If it's always you who's doing the work, you're not courting, you're clinging to false hope. She's not pakipot, she's passively passing. What do you think, Tao and Monique? What's a dead giveaway that she's not being pakipot, that she's really not into you?
If she's not hanging out with you outside of like work or
The
whatever, yeah, or like a group setting, like if it's just you two alone and she doesn't want to hang out, I feel like that's a dead giveaway.
I feel like I speak for people like Alan.
I was like, Alan.
When you talk to someone, tapos it works well. Like you're talking, you get along, you have similar likes. But then when it becomes even slightly romantic or slightly may
Back away na siya.
Na biglang ang tagal na niya mag-reply.
So would you say that's not pakipot though? That's just them scared of being in a commitment.
No,
Alan,
that's
you're scared
just
of being in
not-
a commitment, ah.
Uy, hindi naman. I believe in Alan.
Okay.
Yes, I believe in our guy. But yes, I mean like it's when things start getting
Serious?
well, yeah, when the topics become more, I guess, like leaning towards romance, then one person suddenly backs away. That is when it's a soft no.
But
It's
this is a
passive
cultural
no.
question now. Do Filipino girls normally don't tell the guy how they feel? Because right, it's a Filipino culture. You guys aren't really confrontational. Because I feel like in the U.S., if we're not feeling you, I'll be like, you're getting friend zoned like automatically. But here in the Philippines, I feel like you don't say anything. You're just very nice to them, right?
Coach B?
Yes. Actually, that's very interesting, no? And especially like considering other culture. Yes, just like what we've mentioned, confrontational is hard for us. So sometimes we smile, we be nice, but it doesn't mean that we like you. It could be, it means na, like we're nice, but we're not gonna go on a second date.
That's harsh.
Yeah, I know, but like, that's what happens. Pero don't worry, loves, because we're gonna teach our loves right now. How will you know if it's really pakipot or wala talagang pag-asa? Okay? So number one, it's pakipot. Pakipot still says yes eventually. So it's possible that they could give you some delays, pero there's an engagement. Just like what Mo said, they would still see you. But if she always disappears, that's no longer being pakipot or coy. That's already closed. Number two, pakipot texts back. So rejection leaves you on red. Delayed reply, it's okay. Maybe she's just being hard to get. But perpetual silence, she's done. You weren't just told. Number three, pakipot can give excuses, but they reschedule. A woman who likes you finds a way, and a woman who doesn't just finds reasons not to show up. Number four, pakipot sometimes flirts and teases. Pero if they're not interested, she's nice, but neutral, smiling but without substance. And number 5, pakipot is a game. Rejection is a pattern. If it's always you who's initiating, planning, following up, you're not playing tag. You're performing a monologue. And finally, 6, yung when she says, hindi ko alam. Often, it means, hindi ko talaga feel. I don't know is not a green light. It's an emotional smoke screen. So, loves, let me tell you about one of these coaching clients. He actually courted this sweet, charming Filipina girl for months. And then she replied late, made excuses, but never shut him down naman. He thought she was pakipot, but here's the thing. One day, he saw her at a mall with another guy. Turns out, she was already dating somebody else. When he confronted her, eto loves ang sabi. Sabi niya, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. So she was just being polite.
Yikes.
He wasn't the suitor. He was the emotional crutch. So don't stay in a story where you're the side character pretending to be the lead. So how do we solve this, love? Do you have any, Pao Mo, do you have any advice for men who's going through this?
You said pakipot is a game eh. I don't like playing games.
Don't like playing games.
No, but
Wow.
no, I mean,
Again.
like, I think being direct is fine. I mean, like, if you're the guy, I mean, and you know, if you don't declare yung intentions mo, it's hard. You know, you have to leave yourself open to rejection. I think that's a problem with some people that they don't want to be rejected. Pero it's better to be rejected early rather
later.
than rejected
Yes.
after investment.
Yeah, actually, I 100%
I love that,
agree.
Pao.
Like, if a guy is courting me and I don't know his intentions, right? Oh, does he like me? Is he just being friends? Or does he have intentions to date? I would like to know early on, I feel like. And also, direct is a key here in the pakipot game. Because even for girls,
Si
they
direct?
should be...
Oh no, being direct.
Being
Okay,
Hi, direct.
sorry.
No, kidding. No, being direct is the key. Because, like, for girls and guys, I feel like the girls. Is there a thing, Coach V? Maybe this can be your next topic on how to make girls less pakipot. Pwede ba yun?
We will have to go through
Can that
100,
be?
200 years back, the Filipino culture.
I feel like they should
and
be
tell
more
the nanays.
Because kawawa, like the client that you had, but she found out
Yeah,
after he saw,
diba?
that hurts more than if she told him in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because his feelings already manifested and like marinated, right? That he really likes her, and then voila, it's with another guy.
Passive nose is not being nice. Yun na lang.
Yeah, it's being more mean actually.
Actually, that was a good point with Pao, diba? Dito kasi we're expecting men to take the lead. So as a man, if you become very clear with your intention at the beginning, yes, you might get rejected early on, but at least alam mo na.
And
But what-
girls like
diba?
when a guy's direct actually.
Yes, actually,
And when they
because
take
it's
the lead.
Kaya men start with courage para hindi ka din ma-friend zone. So, here's some more love hack exit plan, my love. Number 1, set a time limit. Lalo na yung mga laging nasa scene zone dyan, give it 2 to 3 honest attempts. After that, kapag wala pa ring follow-ups, no more, hi, just checking. Number 2, ask directly, just exactly what Pao said. One last time. You can say something like, hey, I've enjoyed getting to know you, but I'd like to know, are you open to dating me, or should I take a step back now? Be calm, be clear, be kind. And third, don't decode what she's not saying. If it's unclear, that's already your answer. 4, move where the warmth is. Real interest feels safe, hindi suspenseful. And finally, final truth for all the guys out there, if she really liked you, you wouldn't be wondering this hard. Now, love, pakipot is a cultural, but confusion is emotional clutter. A woman who wants you will find a way to say yes, not hide behind, I don't know. That's it for today, loves. This is Coach V giving you real talk about real love. DM me your love dilemmas at Dating Coach V, and let's not just talk about love. Let's solve it. See you again next week here on It's a Beautiful Day. Love you.
I learned so much today.
You learn so much about pakipot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like girls do
Kasi hindi
play
ka
hard.
pakipot.
Hindi ka
No,
pakipot
I'm
mo?
very direct.
Ay, talaga? If you like somebody, you tell them?
Yeah, and if I don't like you, I'll tell you.
Wow.
Actually, you'll feel it also. If I don't like you, I'm literally not gonna talk to you that
Alright.
much. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a good and a bad thing.
No, but I think yung being direct is super important.
Yeah.
I think I think especially when I was younger in high school, that was a problem in terms of yung directness. And then I think that's just the way to solve it rin eh. Like being open to being rejected and being said no to.
Because
and then
either
kung
way,
nag-no na,
pag nag-no,
stop trying.
So move on talaga dapat na tao.
Kasi minsan sinasabi ng mga ibang guys na hindi, if I stay there long enough, eventually
change your
she'll say
mind.
yes. Like the siege mentality, diba? Like just
Yes.
trying to break down the walls eventually.
But what if the girl's really playing hard to get? Because I know
Diba?
some girls that they really
Totoo.
want the guys to chase them.
yeah. Pero may mga ibang guy naman talaga abanger talaga eh. They're just there.
Like you, alabanger.
Wait lang, no, they're just there. Kahit may like the other person's dating another one, they're just there waiting.
Waiting for that moment.
Waiting to be the replacement. Diba?
Well,
Don't be that guy naman, kawawa ka.
Sorry this
yeah.
is obviously a very heated topic.
Yes. My love, just to add, unpopular opinion lang I do believe that when a man doesn't like a girl, it's hard to change their mind. But in fairness with Filipinas, even at the beginning they say no to you. Sometimes you can win a woman's heart by effort
Actually,
and
that's
dedication.
true. Because if they see that you're so persistent, not in a creepy way, like a persistent in a
Not in a
sweet
stalker
way,
way, yes.
then she'll change her mind.
Ligawan mo yung pamilya ni girl.
Yun! Galing nun.
100%.
Ligawan mo yung pamilya ni girl.
Let's talk about courting in the next part of our love.
Actually, that's a great
How to
topic.
court the mom of your
The
Not
mom,
only
the
the
dad, the
mom, the
siblings,
best friends.
the lola, the whole family.
Oh, in
Even the
a
police.
not creepy way.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually.
Okay.
All
All right.
good.
We can
New
go.
topic, yeah.
We can go very
Monday or
long with this,
Tuesday.
but we have to wrap things up. Coach V,
Okay.
maraming salamat. Thank you so much. You're always appreciate you having you here this week.
Yes.
All right, so that is it for us. It's Friday for this week. It's June 20. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great weekend ahead. Join us again on Monday at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a beautiful day.